I really wanted to come on and share today about the power that you have to change your circumstances or your situation, and that power is really within you. That power is within you. I just want to remind you something that I was recently reminded of is that love is what we're born with and fear is what we learn. Love is what we're born with and fear is what we learn. For me, I spent a good majority of my life in fear, whether it was fear of not being good enough at something or fear of not having enough. And maybe you can relate to one of those two things. But in the first part of my life, it really showed up in my health and wellness. Growing up a heavyweight kid, being the last one picked for the kickball team, being made fun of because I had Coke bottle lens glasses and being awkward and heavy and just, all of that. It really affected my confidence. And so I lived in a lot of fear of other people's judgment, of being good enough or loved enough or liked enough, if you will. And so I stressed. I had anxiety attacks, which I didn't even know that I had until later in life. It was actually kind of crazy. But all of this awareness came to me later in life. Fear of not being good enough or not having enough also showed up in my relationship with money when I became an entrepreneur. Something that I had to really zero in on and focus on if I wanted to succeed doing what I'm doing now in serving people. It also showed up in my relationships that I had with people. It affected relationships I had with friends. Just a lot of my own self-judgment showed up in the relationships that I had with them. It affected my relationship that I had in my marriage. It affected how I was raising my kids. It just showed up in various different ways. And so I had to begin really taking a look at some of these things and realizing that I had to learn how to let go of these fears, if you will, so that I could then return back to the love of who I really am. Because love is what we're born with. Love is what we're born with. And the fear is what we learn. And I had to go through this process, still am, going through this process of unlearning what I learned over the first 40-something years of my life. But I gotta tell you something. We can experience massive change and massive breakthrough when we take the time and the energy and we invest in ourselves in a way to make this change. And so I want to encourage you to remember, love is what you're born with. Fear is what we learn. I want to encourage you to unlearn some of those fears and return back to the truth of who you are. That love that is within you, that you were born with as a baby, an innocent baby brought into this world. Return back to that. Find where your truth is in your heart, not in your circumstances, not in your situations, but within here, your heart and your soul. Share with me below. Do you have a fear of not being good enough or a fear of not having enough? And how is it showing up in your life? Is it showing up in your health and wellness, or maybe in your business or in your relationships? And if I can help inspire and encourage you, I want to be able to do that, because it sucks to be in that place of scarcity, of feeling not good enough or not having enough. We're born to succeed. We're born to be something so much more than we think we are. And I think it's about time that we step into that truth. Don't you? Hope you got some value out of this today. I love you.